Forget everything you thought you knew about luxury sedans, because the hierarchy of the automotive world has just been dismantled. For decades, if you wanted the ultimate statement of wealth and power, you bought a Mercedes Maybach. It was the undisputed king of the boardroom. But right now, in the most competitive car market on the planet, that crown isn't just slipping, it's been snatched. We are looking at the Royce 800, a vehicle that is currently outselling the Maybach's class, the Porsche Panamera, and the BMW 7 Series combined in China's ultra-luxury segment. This isn't a startup success story. This is a hostile takeover by Huawei. When a tech giant that builds the world's most advanced 5G networks and smartphones decides to build a car, they don't just add a tablet to the dashboard. They rewrite the DNA of what a car can actually do. The Royce 800 is a 5.48-meter-long, 850-horsepower masterpiece of silicon and steel that makes the traditional European luxury guard look like they are still living in the age of the telegram. Let's talk about the sheer presence of this thing, because it doesn't just drive down the street, it commands it. The S800 is a land yacht, stretching nearly 5.5 meters with a wheelbase that creates a cabin larger than some executive offices. They call the design language neo-classical futurism, and it's a direct shot at the heart of German design. The front fascia is dominated by what Huawei calls the Milky Way light system. When the car is stationary, it looks like a solid, deep black obsidian block. But as you approach, the car wakes up. Over 1,200 micro LEDs in the headlights begin a choreographed dance that looks like a meteor shower crashing into a nebula. The grille isn't just a grille. It's a massive, illuminated gate of light that makes a Rolls-Royce Pantheon grille look static and old-fashioned. Even the door handles are artistic installations, embedded with fiber optic strands that glow with a constellation-like pattern the moment the car senses your presence. This isn't just a car. It's a high-definition experience before you even touch the door handle. And speaking of those doors, they are a piece of engineering magic. Most luxury cars have soft closed doors, but the Royce 800 has thinking doors. Using a combination of millimeter-wave radar and roof-mounted LiDAR, the car scans its surroundings in real time. If it detects a cyclist, a high curb, or even a stray shopping cart, it physically restricts the door from opening into the obstacle. The doors can swing open to a massive 77-degree angle, but they will automatically stop at the precise millimeter to avoid a scratch. It's that level of obsessive, tech-driven protection that makes a Maybach feel analog. You aren't just getting in, you are being ushered into a private sanctuary by an AI that is constantly looking out for you. The wheels themselves are another flex, massive 21-inch dish-style alloys with self-aligning center caps where the logo stays perfectly upright as you drive. It's a classic Rolls-Royce detail, but here it's paired with a body that has a drag coefficient of just 0.206, making it one of the most aerodynamic shapes ever put into production. But the exterior is just the appetizer. When you step inside, you realize why Porsche and Mercedes are having emergency meetings. The interior of the Royce 800 doesn't just rival Maybach, it attempts to make it irrelevant. The dashboard is a literal wall of glass, featuring a triple-screen layout that runs on Huawei's HarmonyOS 5.0. It is the smoothest, most responsive interface in the world, capable of syncing with your phone, your home, and your office instantly. But the real party is in the back. This is a 4-seat configuration where the rear passengers are treated like royalty on a private jet. The rear active-safe, zero-gravity seats can recline to an incredible angle, while the front passenger seat folds away to give you infinite legroom. These aren't just seats, they are wellness centers. They feature hot stone massage programs, active cooling, and a mute button that physically engages noise-canceling technology in the headrests to create a zone of absolute silence. If you think the tech ends with the screens, you haven't seen the theater. Tucked into the ceiling is a 40-inch laser projection system. With the press of a button, the windows tint to 99% opacity, the starry sky roof, which uses over 680 individual optical fibers, dims, and the rear of the car transforms into a private cinema. The audio is handled by the Huawei Sound Ultimate System, a 2,920-watt monstrosity with 43 speakers, including 10 ceiling-mounted units and speakers built directly into the headrests. This system uses sound partitioning technology, which means the person in the left rear seat can be watching an action movie while the person in the right rear seat is on a business call, and they won't hear each other. It's a level of acoustic isolation that felt impossible until now. And of course, there's the middle island, a console between the rear seats that houses a compressor refrigerator that can chill your champagne to exactly 5 degrees or keep your tea warm at 50 degrees. Now let's talk about the engineering that makes this thing a physical anomaly on the road. The S800 is built on the Turing Longsing platform, which is essentially a supercomputer with wheels. It features a tri-motor setup in the pure electric version that pushes out 852 horsepower. But there is also a Trexio range extended version for those who want to drive from Beijing to Shanghai without stopping. The EREV model pairs those electric motors with a 1.5-liter turbo generator, giving it a staggering combined range of over 1,200 kilometers, 745 miles. But the horsepower isn't the headline, it's the maneuverability. Despite being nearly 18 feet long, the S800 has a turning radius smaller than a Volkswagen Golf. This is thanks to a rear-wheel steering system that can turn up to 16 degrees. But it goes further. The S800 features a crab walk mode. If you're in a tight parking garage or a narrow city street, the car can move diagonally, sliding into spots that would be impossible for a traditional sedan. It's the kind of feature that makes you realize how much the Europeans have been coasting on their heritage, while the Chinese have been innovating. The suspension system is another area where Huawei decided to over-engineer everything. It's a dual-chamber air suspension system paired with CDC, continuous damping control, and hydraulic bushings. But because the car is equipped with the ADAS 4.0 sensor suite, it doesn't just react to bumps, it predicts them. The car's cameras and LiDAR scan the road surface 1,000 times per second. If it sees a pothole or a speed bump 20 meters ahead, it pre-adjusts the pressure in the air springs to nullify the impact before you even reach it. It's called magic carpet technology, and in the S800, it feels like you are floating on a cloud of liquid silk. Even more impressive is the active safe posture control. If the car's sensors detect an unavoidable side impact, the suspension instantly lifts the side of the car by several inches to ensure the strongest part of the frame, the floor, takes the hit rather than the doors. It is a car that is literally jumping to protect you. Safety in the S800 is handled by what Huawei calls super awareness. This is the first car in the world to feature a 192-line LiDAR system that can see through heavy fog, torrential rain, and dust with 60% more accuracy than any other system on the market. It doesn't just see cars, it sees the world in 3D. This allows for level 3 autonomous driving, where the car can navigate complex city traffic, handle highway interchanges, and even park itself in a multi-story garage while you walk away. It can find its own charging station, wait for a robotic arm to plug it in, and then notify your phone when it's done. We are talking about a car that acts more like a personal assistant than a piece of machinery. The internal framework, the tramway structure, is made of 92% high-strength steel and aviation-grade aluminum, making it a literal rolling fortress. Finally, we have to talk about the price, because this is the most shocking part of the entire Mextro story. A Mercedes Maybach S680 with a V12 will set you back over $230,000 in the US, and significantly more in China with taxes. The Mextro S800, with all this tech, the 850 horsepower, the 40-inch projector, and the 1,200-kilometer range starts at roughly 708,000 yuan, which is about $100,000. Even the fully loaded, gold-trimmed top edition barely touches $145,000. You are getting twice the technology, 3 times the innovation, and a more exclusive interior for almost half the price of the European competition. This is why 1,000 people put down non-refundable deposits in the first hour of the launch. This is why Bentley, one of the biggest stars in the world, took delivery of the 10,000th unit just months after production began. The Royce 800 isn't just a car, it's a shift in the global order. For a century, the West defined luxury through mechanical perfection and heritage. But we are now in the intelligence era, and Huawei is showing the world that luxury is now defined by silicon, software, and the ability to do the impossible. The S-Class used to be the best car in the world. But today, if you want the best, you might have to look toward the east. The future isn't coming. It's already here. It's crab walking into a parking spot. And it's wearing a Mextro badge. The question is, can the rest of the world catch up, or is the era of the European luxury king officially over? Since the Royce 800 is already dominating the high-end market, would you like me to dive into a head-to-head comparison of the S800 versus the upcoming Neo ET9 to see which Chinese flagship truly owns the road?